Good morning and happy sort of town day again. We're going into Sierra City to collect resupply boxes and probably eat a big hamburger. But then we're going to roll out again as soon as we can, so no showers, no laundry, nothing, just food. We're descending down into the valley where Sierra City is. Right now, I think we're below 5,000 feet, which is the first time we've hiked at that altitude in weeks. It is noticeably warmer down here. Last night we camped by Milton Creek, and the creek itself was very cold because it originates from a spring. But man, the air was super warm. Even at dusk, I slept without a sleeping bag over me or anything till, I don't know, probably 12 or 1 a.m. until I finally got slightly chilly, and I pulled my sleeping bag over me, which was a mistake, because then I woke up a little while later absolutely drenched in sweat, just soaked. So that's not fun. Yeah, didn't get a lot of sleep. I am definitely feeling like I've been running on a sleep deficit for the past few days, so I declared that my goal for today is to get 9 hours of sleep tonight. I don't care how far we walk. I'm getting to bed early enough that I can sleep for 9 hours, so hopefully that will go as intended. Looks like today is the last day of the current heat wave. It was supposed to end tomorrow or yesterday, but it's only a couple of degrees down today. Tomorrow should be even 5 or 8 degrees even lower than that, so that'll be nice. Make walking easier, make sleeping easier. We want to get into Sierra City and then back out on the trail, hopefully in time to at least start the big climb up the other side. I think that's McClellan Butte over there. I don't remember. Climb that before it gets stupid hot again. The forecast was calling for maybe thunderstorms today, so that will be an extra variable. We'll see what happens. So we're doing a bit of a detour into Sierra City because the bridge over the North Yuba River, right before the highway where you would normally walk or hitch into Sierra City, that bridge has been damaged enough that the Forest Service has officially legally closed the bridge. Now, PCT hikers in far out comments have reported that the bridge is easily passable for people on foot, for through hikers who have been climbing and walking logs across raging rivers for the past month. But they've also reported that sometimes the rangers find them and yell at them for using the bridge. So because we're walking in the early morning, I wasn't sure if the highway would have a lot of traffic on it anyway, so hitching might be a problem. If we ended up having to walk the highway in, then this detour to bypass the damaged bridge is actually shorter than hiking the whole PCT. So We decided to do that to get into Sierra City, and then we'll attempt to hitch back out up the highway to pick up the PCT on the north side.
We're breaking a rule. There's no riding in the back of pickups, but we're doing it.
Okay, we successfully got into and out of Sierra City before noon, so that's great. Like a doofus, I forgot to video anything in town, so I'll just have to recap that with words. We got our resupply boxes from the general store. I ordered a breakfast sandwich, which was very yummy. Bought a few extra calories at the store to go along with the food that my family members have so lovingly shipped to me. What else? We charged things, used the Wi-Fi to catch up on messages. Wi-Fi was not fast enough to be able to upload videos though, so y'all have to wait a while longer on those. I mailed my bear can home. Yes, I mailed my bear can home. I think I sort of miss it a little bit, but definitely my pack is lighter and packs smaller without it, so that is a good thing. Now we're doing a 3,000 foot climb out of Sierra City, and it is, I don't know what the temperature is right now. I know the high is forecast to be 88, I think. And the forecast for Sierra City said 25% humidity, but it is definitely much more humid than that, for sure. I soaked my shirt before I left town to get some natural air conditioning, but it is barely even drying. It is very humid out here today. So I really appreciate when y'all leave comments on my YouTube videos. Lets me know that you're watching and engaged, and appreciate the time that I put into this, so thank you very much. I don't usually respond to those comments on YouTube. I just don't have the time. I need to limit my engagement there, but I do read them all and appreciate them. But I saw this morning that the Morris family asked a very important question, which I decided, since I probably don't have a lot else to video today, that I would try to answer while I walk up this hill. So apologies for me panting and being out of breath. Basically, they asked, how do you handle pooping in the woods? I think they put it a little more politely than that, but that was the gist of the question. So, first thing to know is I read something a long time ago which stuck with me, and it is absolutely true. Somebody said, Thruhikers have notoriously slick innards. That is, you can be going along just fine, no care in the world, and then in the space of about 30 seconds, you go from totally fine to, oh my gosh, I need to poop right now, screaming emergency. And I wish there was more lead time and notice, but there often is not. Yeah, and it'll strike at The most inconvenient times, sometimes I will need to pee. And so I just step off the trail beside a tree and start doing my business there really quick, because that's not a very big deal. And then while I'm in the middle of peeing, my body goes, you know, this would be a really great time to poop as well. And I say, no, body, we are not in a position to poop right now. We are not in a private place. We do not have a hole dug. We are not ready to poop. My body says, but I really want to poop now. And I say, no, I said no. I don't want to hear any more about it. That is the end of the discussion. And my body says, okay, fine. Pooping! Hey, Morris says, aren't you glad you asked this question? Yeah. Anyway, but the general procedure is that you dig a hole. I carry an ultra light trowel called the Deuce of Spades, which does a pretty decent job. As long as you can find soft ground. It's a little challenging when it's extremely rocky. But you dig a hole, you poop in the hole. Use your toilet paper to clean up, of course. And depending on where I am, what kind of terrain, what kind of climate, either I will bury the toilet paper in the hole with the poop after kind of mixing it up together so that the toilet paper doesn't escape. Or if it's a very dry climate, a desert, or maybe up in the alpine areas where there's just not a lot of soil or a lot of biological activity going on, I just carry the toilet paper out with me, put it in a little doggy poop sack, and just toss it in the trash can when I get to town. It's not as bad as it sounds. It's fine. But I do have to say, because of the aforementioned 0 to emergency in 30 seconds thing, there have been several times when I had to poop first and then dig a hole afterwards. Yeah, I don't really enjoy that. But sometimes that is your only choice. We were all the way down there just a little while ago. Got a hitch up the valley a little bit, and then we've been switchbacking up ever since. Okay, so I'm walking on some fairly tricky trail here, but I had a thought which I wanted to capture before I forgot. So one of the purposes of this trip for me is to disconnect from current events and news, which stresses me out, politics, which makes me absolutely crazy. So I haven't been thinking about that at all. I haven't been following the news. I have no idea what's happening out there in the other world, and that's the way I like it. But there is one interesting thing I have observed multiple times, which is I'm in, small town America, basically. And the people there, by and large, are voting Republican for Republican values, or what they imagine Republican values are or used to be. But on the subject of climate change, it's been interesting. I've been hearing several times, folks who I'm guessing would normally be staunch Republican Party platform folks, and they are talking about all the continual heat waves, practically not even a gap between heat waves anymore, and they're just shaking their heads going, it didn't used to be this hot. Guy down in Tehachapi, ex-military, driving an absolutely gigantic pickup truck. He gave me a hitch into town along with a few other hikers, which I appreciated. But as I was riding in his giant pickup truck and they were discussing the then current heat wave going on, and the driver of the truck, he kind of shakes his head and chuckles and says, maybe Al Gore was right. And he said it half sarcastically, but he said it with an air of, I really don't want to know if he was right. And I have a sneaking suspicion there's stuff there that I should be facing up to and don't want to. And then just this morning in Sierra City, I was listening to a woman talking to a friend. I think they were locals, talking about this heat wave. And they said basically the same thing. They're just shaking their heads going, it didn't used to be like this. Things are definitely changing, and I don't care what those Project 2025 guys say when they want to roll back all of the climate regulations. It's changing, and I don't like it. And we got to do something. I don't know what. And then they just kind of shrugged and went on to a different topic. But I'm hearing grassroots, at the local level in the rural small town areas, I'm hearing a growing awareness that things are changing. And these people are noticing because they're farmers, they're ranchers, they're forestry workers. They don't spend all of their day inside in air-conditioned buildings. They're out in it. They feel it, they know it. I don't know. We'll see what comes of that long term. See if that awareness grows into actual will to act before it's too late. I have no idea. This is the trail I've already climbed. Up, up, up. Tiger lilies. 1,200 miles. Oh! That was the count from Sesame Street.
Oh, really?